Before we begin, make sure you hit subscribe and stay locked in for more real, unfiltered stories like this one. My wife let her lover into our home. 5 minutes later, she was pulled outside by her hair. The second I stepped onto the porch, I felt it. Something was off. The air felt thick, like the walls themselves were bracing for impact. The place I once called my safe haven suddenly felt like I was walking into unfamiliar ground. What I didn't realize then was that, within the next few moments, every belief I held about my marriage was about to crumble, and the woman I trusted more than anyone was about to make the worst decision of her life. My name is Daniel, and until that night, I believed I had a regular marriage, flawed, sure, but built on love. Melissa and I had been together for 8 years. Like any couple, we had our ups and downs. Money issues, stress, communication problems. Still, I genuinely thought we were fighting for something meaningful. What I didn't understand was that the real war was happening behind my back. It started months before. Melissa grew distant. Her replies came slower. Her nights out got later. Her explanations turned vague. Every time I asked what was wrong, she brushed it off with a tired smile and a soft, "I'm just stressed, babe." I wanted that to be true. I needed it to be true. Love has a way of making you ignore warning signs waving right in front of you. Then, that evening, my phone buzzed. It was my neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, the type who notices everything, even what you pray she won't. "Daniel, sweetheart, there's a man at your house." Melissa let him inside. My heart slammed like it was trying to escape my chest. I told myself not to assume anything, but deep down, something whispered that this was exactly what I feared. I rushed home from work, knuckles white around the steering wheel. When I pulled into the driveway, it hit me right away. Melissa's car was there, but another set of footprints led to porch. I walked in silently, choosing instinct over comfort. I didn't announce myself. And then I heard it. Her laugh. Familiar. Soft. Intimate. Followed by a man's voice, calm and confident. "Are you sure your husband won't be back for hours?" The air left my lungs. My legs felt weak, but rage started burning through the shock. I shoved the door open, harder than I meant to, and it slammed against the wall. They froze. Melissa looked like she'd seen a ghost. The man beside her, tall, broad, someone I'd never laid eyes on before, smirked like he owned the place. "Daniel, you're home early," she stuttered, her complexion draining of color. Before I could speak, he stepped forward, chin lifted with arrogance. "So you're the husband," he said. "No need to make this messy." My throat felt shredded. My voice almost failed me. "You get out," I muttered. But right then, fate threw in one more blow. The front door burst open again. Claire, Melissa's older sister. She was fire in human form, bold, temperamental, fiercely protective. I'd called her earlier, confused and desperate after reading Mrs. Henderson's message. I didn't expect her to show up, but she did, and straight into the middle of the wreckage. Her eyes widened as she took it all in. "You're cheating on Daniel in his own house?" she snapped. "Have you lost all shame?" "Claire, please let me explain," Melissa cried, stepping toward her. But Claire wasn't interested in explanations. Her fury exploded. "You betrayed him. You brought another man into his home while he works nonstop for you. How dare you?" In one swift motion, she grabbed Melissa's wrist and yanked her toward the door. Melissa screamed as Claire pulled her by the hair, dragging her outside while tears drenched her face. The lover moved to interfere, but the second he tried, I stepped in front of him, eyes burning. "Touch her," I warned quietly, "and you'll regret it." He froze. Claire kept pulling Melissa until she was out on the lawn. Neighbors peeked through curtains. Cars slowed. Every ounce of dignity Melissa had left dissolved in front of the street. I just stood there, hollow, shattered. When Claire finally released her, Melissa collapsed onto grass, sobbing. I felt no triumph, no victory, only an aching void. Claire came back inside, gripped my shoulders, and said softly, "You didn't deserve this, Daniel. Don't let her ruin who you are." That night marked the end, and somehow the beginning too. I didn't sleep. Melissa called, texted, begged. I turned my phone off. Silence was the only thing that felt safe. The next morning, I went to my parents' place. After hearing everything, my father rested a hand on my shoulder. "You can't control other people's choices," he said, "but you can control how you rise after they fall." For the first time in months, something inside me stirred. Strength. Melissa kept reaching out. Apologies, tears, excuses. Stress, loneliness, emotional neglect. None of it erased what I'd seen. Eventually, she confessed the truth. The affair had been going on nearly a year. She claimed she felt disconnected, though she never once told me. I filed for divorce. Her family stood by me, disgusted by what she'd done. Claire even apologized for dragging her out the way she did. But I told her honestly. She spoke the pain I couldn't give words to. Bit by bit, I rebuilt myself. I hit the gym. I cooked again. I reconnected with people I'd drifted from. I picked up passions I'd abandoned. And slowly, peace returned. Months later, I saw Melissa again. She looked diminished, exhausted, broken in a way I wouldn't wish even on my worst enemy. She told me she regretted everything, that she lost not just a husband, but the person who loved her more than anyone else ever would. I listened, I acknowledged, but I didn't go back. Because some betrayals don't destroy you, they reshape you. They force you to recognize your worth. They push you toward the person you were always meant to become. And that's the lesson here. Sometimes life removes people from your world in the most brutal, heartbreaking way possible. But sometimes that pain clears space for the life, love, and future you genuinely deserve. Never let another person's betrayal make you question your value. Never let their mistakes convince you you're unworthy. And never forget, your worth doesn't fade just because someone failed to recognize it.